Hey guys, morning. Sorry, we had a bunch of internet connectivity issues this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and set this room up real quick and get everything started before market opens. Give me 1 second, and we should be good to go. Settings from send a Zoom link to you guys real quick. Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Sorry, we had some internet connectivity issues this morning with YouTube, so I wasn't able to get online. I'm trying to get this set up as soon as possible. I finally got through. We have about 2 minutes to market open. So just looking at, I'm gonna do a quick analysis. Looking over at US 30 over here, looks like everything's pretty bullish, right? Price is above the pivots, trend meters green, price is above the pivots, trend meters green, and on the 1 minute, same situation, price above the pivots. And the trend meter is also green. We have about 2 minutes to market open. I'm going to go ahead and set this up right now. And if we get that confirmation of a buy, then we'll take it for a buy. But we need to get that full confirmation on the fundamental side as well before we get started. So we got about 1:30 right now. So we do have some time. And it's fine because we've still got to wait that first minute after market open anyways. So let me go ahead and send out the rest of these links, and then we should be good to go. Solid. Good. So we got about 45 seconds till market open. All right, we got about 25 seconds. About 15 seconds. So technical show a bullish bias. We just need to confirm this on the fundamental side over here. Looks like the futures data is very bullish. So it's up about 160 points. Market sentiment short, so that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what we want. Market is now open. Let me go and refresh this. Huge push up right there. So this might be a little risky if you guys enter this breakout, because if this wow, that's a huge push up right here. So this right here, we need this wick over here to close with, well, we need this candle close with little to no wick on top. If the wick on top is too big, then we're probably gonna hold off, but this thing is just skyrocketing right now. It's skyrocketing super high. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna enter right away. I might not even take the full move because this is way too big of a move on open. This right here pushed up about almost 500 pips. So huge wick right here. See that big wick on top? I'm gonna wait for the next candle. I'm not gonna enter right away. I'm gonna wait for the next candle. It's way too big of a wick on top right there. So technically this would be the breakout entry right here, but I'm not gonna enter it yet. So just keep that in mind. I'm not gonna enter it yet. I'm gonna see if it keeps pushing up. If this closes a strong bullish candle, then I'll take it, but it's just way too risky right now to hop into this trade. So if you guys want to take it, feel free, but I'm not going to take it. I recommend you guys wait as well because it's just way too strong of a candle. Well, not really strong of a candle, but it's too big of a candle because it's, it's probably due to revert, but not reverse, but retrace a little bit. So that's going to be TP1 right there. This is going to be full TP. If this next candle right here closes as a strong bullish candle, then I'm going to hop in for a late entry. But if you guys do want to enter, this is technically the entry right here. Or if it even breaks past the TP, I might just hop in. Now I'm going to wait. I'm going to hop in for a little bit. Just quick little move right there. So I catch something, pushes up higher. I'm already in the position. I'm slight profit. I might just pull out though, because it's already at TP1. Just going to see where it pushes to. Right here. Yeah, but it's just a little risky right here because it is pushed up really high. So just keep that in mind. I don't recommend you guys enter this late into the push because it might retrace a little bit. You can probably get a better entry if it comes back down to entry point and then catch it as it swings up. But technically, this would have been the entry right here, and you probably would have wanted to pull out as it came back down right here. So just keep that in mind. Generally, when it pushes this far up, I don't like to take it because it has to retrace at some point, at least to some extent. But looking over here at the fundamental side, it's up 200 points. Looking at the stock index, it's entirely green. Let's see, looking at the futures index, it's up 141 points. Looking over here at the market sentiment, retail traders are short, and obviously, it's pushing to the upside. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, you can see right here, it's starting to retrace a little bit. This is why I recommend that you guys probably hold off a little bit until you guys hop in. But if you guys did enter like right on that close of that candle, you guys are probably in profit at this point. Or even if you guys entered as it's shooting up right here, you're probably in profit. So just keep that in mind if you guys are planning on entering this. But it is a risky trade right here just because of the fact that it's pushed up so high. It's going to have to retrace a little bit. But I think it's going to keep pushing up eventually in a matter of time. So just keep that in mind if you guys are thinking about entering the trade or not. Let's see. Or if you guys are in the trade yet, eventually I do anticipate to swing back up. You can see the big wicks on the bottom right here. It's just going to do that throughout the session because of the big push up right here. It'd have to trace up a little bit. Retrace back a little bit. But just looking over here at everything is pushing to the upside. We have a bullish confirmation on the 1 hour. The problem with this is that it's at an all-time high. So just also keep that in mind. It's at an all-time high right now. So on the 1 hour, it's bullish on the all-time high. 10-minute, it's bullish as well. 3-minute, it's bullish as well. 1 minute, it's bullish as well. Looking at the fundamentals over here, the entire stock index is completely green. Looking over here at, it's literally completely green. Looking over here at the daily index, it's up by 214 points. The daily futures right here, it's up 137 points. And, the icing on the cake right here is that retail traders are short because they're trying to short the market because they think it's at the all-time high. So just keep that in mind. You can see the number right here is starting to drop because it was at 74% and then it dropped down to 72 because people are getting stopped out here to start to shoot up higher and higher. So just keep that in mind if you guys are in the position or you guys are thinking this is a perfect place to enter because it's at entry point if you do want to enter this point. And there you go, it's starting to swing back up. So it's a matter of time. I'm not too worried because I'm already in the trade too. But as it does swing back up, I might just pull out when I get back into profit because I didn't realize that it's at the all-time high. Let's see. Yeah, it's literally at the all-time high right now. So going back on 1 hour over here, 1 hour, it's it's not there yet, but it's getting there. It's like a few pips away from breaking the all-time high. So it's the all-time highs right here. Let me just push this down a little bit. Let's see how far is it currently. It's only about 400 pips from the all-time high, so it's pretty high up there. Let's see. It's probably gonna break it. Looks like it will. Everything is pointing towards the upside, so I could definitely see it breaking it. Looking at so this is why we had that big push right there because we had a area of liquidity right here. We had an area of liquidity right here, and we also had an area of liquidity down here as well. So as you guys can see right here, I'm just going to go ahead and delete these zones right here. As you guys can see at this point, when price was coming down, there was areas of liquidity where people place their stop loss, right? They had their stop losses right here, and right here, because this is where the swings were. As price crossed this point, it shot up, came back down for retracement. As soon as it came back up, it triggered these stop losses right here, and it had a volatility push to the upside again. Again, right here, it came down for a small retracement, and then as it came back up, it hit this area of liquidity, and then it skyrocketed all the way up here. It's that same thing that I've been looking at. Basically, if the sentiment's really heavy on one side, I basically look for areas of liquidity where people place their stop losses, and those are the areas right there that got triggered. So just looking at this right here, yeah, I mean, it's just risky. It's the only thing that makes it risky is the fact that it's at the all-time high, and the TP's past the all-time high over here. I think eventually, with the rest of the day, it's going to push up, but it's just going to be a matter of time. So it just depends on how long people can hold on to this this move here until it starts to bounce around. Yeah, Roman said we pushed through the alt. Yeah, not yet, almost there. We're close, but not yet. It's only about 400 pips, so it's not really that far off. Good morning, Mark. Morning, Galmus. Morning, Peter. Morning, Miles. Morning, Fahad. Morning, everybody. There we go. It swings back up further. So if you guys aren't in the position yet, I would probably hold off. This is a risky area to enter because we are near the all-time high. And it already hit TP1 up here. So it hit TP1, came back down for a retracement, but I think eventually it's going to swing back up. I would probably just wait for another entry using one of the scalp strategies. So let me go ahead and turn on my alerts, and we can start looking for a possible scalp strategy here, or scalp entry, I should say. Yeah, I'll be looking for some scalp entries over here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much did what I mentioned, right? I mentioned that right here was a big push up, and then it was probably going to retrace back because it was way too big of a push. On market open right here at 630, price pushed up at least 750 pips. And then obviously, it's going to have to come down slightly, but obviously you can see right here, it's coming down to the pivots. Looks like it's rejecting off the pivot, preparing for another spike back to the upside. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see, retail traders. Looks like a lot of retail traders are just sitting out the market right now. They're not really like whoever was already in the position is just holding on. And if they get stopped out, they get stopped out. We're in the opposite direction in a buy. Looking over here at the news, let's see. This morning we have pending home sales at, actually we had US news at 5:32. We had US news at 5:32 and 5:30. We had unemployment claims, which was negative. We had advanced GDP pricing index, and then we also had pending home sales coming up at 7. So we do have news coming up shortly in about 20 minutes. But, from my perspective over here, I still think it's going to come back up at some point. It's just going to take some time. The only thing that's really hindering our position here is that it's at the all-time high, At the all-time high, it's really risky because price can do one of two things. It generally does, generally bounces off, or it just breaks through it, right? It's had a couple attempts here to break the all-time high. Looks like it tried to reach the all-time high here. It made a new all-time high right here, came back for a retracement, tried to push for another, failed, push for another, failed. And then this is the third attempt where it actually pushed past this area right here. So we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, if you guys aren't in the position already, I would hold off and just wait for another scalp following. Because right now it's just, it's just a little risky for you guys to hop in. Text guys real quick. All right, let's see. Yep, looks good. All right, morning Wesley. Yeah, here we go. It's pushing past the all-time high right now. It's pushing all the way back up. It's just, it's just a matter of time, like I was mentioning. Huge wick right here off this rejection. So it looks like this push up right here is about to I'll have this marked up right here. There's another 1 minute scalp right here. So if this closes, I'll just mark this up for you guys who are trying to make, that late entry or additional entry in. So whoever's not in the position already, I'll mark this up over here. 3 minute, we're just gonna leave that alone. But as you can see right here, the market is still kind of bouncing around. If we get a buy signal right there, I'll mark it up, but we don't have one yet. Let's see, we got about 15 seconds left on this candle. We'll see where it closes. And this thing is super volatile right now. Yeah, we got to keep an eye out for the news, because the news is coming at about 6:42. So I mean at 7 o'clock, at 6:42 right now. So the news is coming in about 12 minutes. That could affect the market pretty heavily. Just looking at the news earlier, the news was negative for the unemployment claim. So obviously that's going to affect the market somewhat. Advanced GDP price index was positive. We'll see what pending home sales is going to look like. They're forecasting it to be negative. I think it's gonna be negative too, because a lot of the home sales did go down over the past couple of months, or not past couple of months, past couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens here. But like I was saying, this so the main thing that we're probably worried about is just the fact that it's at the all-time high, and also that it has a huge wick right here. This candle also has about 17 minutes left on it, so it's getting close to the stop loss, guys. If you guys want to pull out right here, you guys can. For me personally, I'm probably going to hold on till here. But if you guys want to pull out here and take the loss, you guys can. But I do think it's going to swing back up eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time. I'm going to hold till this area down here. But the problem is that we have news coming up soon, so that's going to affect the position. So if you guys do want to close out and you guys can't handle the risk, you guys could pull out right here. So if you guys want to pull out, or if you guys entered up here and already exited in profit, that's fine. But I'm going to hold out till down here because of the fuck, my stop loss was too close. Yeah, so I ate a loss on that, guys. Unfortunately, fuck me. I forgot to change the stop loss parameter, because pricing is different on FTMO. Yeah, unfortunately, I took a loss on that. I'm gonna hop back in later for some scalps onto the upside. But yeah, this is what I was mentioning before, guys. So this was a really risky trade. The reason for that was because of the fact that it pushed up too high. I was mentioning you probably should have held like this point down here and then entered at entry point. However, price was just the main thing that was holding us back was at the fact that it was at the all-time high. I didn't realize it was at the all-time high until we were already in the position. But I do think it's probably going to swing back up if it doesn't stay down here. The reason for that is because it just doesn't make sense for it to drop. If you look at the stock market right here, the entire thing is pretty much green, right? The entire index over here is completely green. So the only thing that was holding it, that was pushing it back down, was the fact that it was at the all-time high. But it's supposed to push back up, because if the entire index is green, the index has to push up. There's no reason for it to come down. There's only one stock or two stocks here that are actually really red. They're not really red, but they're actually red. Like America's down 1 point, Caterpillar's down 1.2 points, but everything here is green. So as you can see, these stocks right here could already overpower these and just keep pushing it up higher and higher. This is the problem when you guys trade around all-time highs. That's why I usually just hold off when it gets to all-time high areas, because of the fact that you can get caught in moves like this, where even though price is all pointing towards the upside, it ends up dropping further and further down. Unfortunately, I had the loss on that, but it's all good. We had a lot of wins from this week already, so it's not really a big dent in my account. It's a setback. So yeah, Paul said he only lost 400 for the day. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's probably going to swing back up. We'll wait for it and we'll see if it swings back up. But if we do catch it on the way back up, we would have to wait for this to just swing up from here. And then we want that retracement back down as we catch it, as it pushes up higher and higher from there. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that was my bad, guys. I didn't realize we're at the all-time high. I saw that we were at the all-time high after we were already like trying to push into this position. But yeah, that's obviously going to be the main factor when we enter these over here. So yeah, hopefully a lot of you guys didn't enter the position, because from the beginning, I mentioned not to take the trade. I said to wait for the retracement down. Some of you guys might have entered here for a late entry when it pulled back into the red. But if you guys did, it's a minimal loss. It's like less than 500 pips, so it shouldn't be too bad, as long as you guys use proper risk. So just keep that in mind. As long as you guys are using proper risk and don't over leverage, you guys should be fine. So if you guys use the one lot, I'll show you an example here. If you use the one lot on FTMO or a 5 lot, depending on what you guys are using, one lot times 500 pips, that's only a $500 loss, right? So just make sure that you guys are always using proper risk. That's what I always mention. Also, if you guys are taking a risky trade like this, to use half risk or have a tighter stop loss. But you can see right here, it's starting to push back up. It's just, you know, market gets manipulated when it gets at the all-time high. Reason for that's because a lot of retail traders try to hop in, and they begin like these little gimmies. They push it down a little bit so it stacks in, like more people stack into those cells, and then it shoots all the way back up. But yeah, let me see what happened over here. Let's see, a lot of you guys actually pulled out already in profit. So just looking at this right here, some of you guys that entered late. So let's see, Josh is already in profit about 500 for the day. Romanio's up 1,861. So Romanio actually pulled out early. So he pulled out at 640, which was right after the open. So the open happened right over here. And then Romanio pulled out as soon as it pushed up. So it pushed up, he pulled out at TP1 right here. So Romanio actually locked in some profit off of that. Let's see, his most recent trade was right here. He only locked in about 221. He was taking a one lot, so we took half of the move right there, right? I mentioned if you took the full move, so like for example here, it's 250 pips, one lot times 250 is 250, obviously. And he locked in 221. So he took a one lot, he caught majority of the move right here, and then he pulled out once he reached TP1 over there. Let's see if anyone else here locked in some profit off that. Adrian as well. So Adrian also took, let's see, he took a couple trades. He stacked a couple on it, looks like. So from 630, he took what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He took a bunch of trades and he just stacked them on. He had more wins and losses. He had a couple losses right here, but all these buys right here, he entered at that point when it shot up. So it looks like he took one here at the basic initial entry, and then he made profit off it, and then he pulled out. So some of you guys did make profit. Some of you guys did take a loss. I took a loss. We're going to count that as well, I'm going to count that as a loss for myself. But some of you guys did here did pretty solid. CERN over here as well. CERN took the buy at about, let's see, he made it to some profit right here. He took a one lot, but it looks like he took a partial position. So we entered right here. He made about 120. So he made 120. Looks like he probably entered as it was pushing up right here. And then he pulled out around this area right here on TP1. So yeah, depending on where you guys entered, if you guys listened and you guys waited and didn't enter at the top right here, you guys would have just taken a loss down here for about 500 pips. Some of you guys entered like right on the open. They pulled up. When I said to pull out, you guys pulled right away at TP1, and then you guys made some profit off that. So it just depends on which area you guys took for the position, but it was a risky entry. Looking here on the 3-minute, we have, so looking at the 3-minute, it pushed to the bottom, but here on the 10-minute, it's still looking like a, unless this closes with the sell signal, it still looks like a buy. This is technically going to be a snipe entry right here because we have the rejection off the pivot. Actually, there's no structure there. This is a, let me turn this on real quick. Actually, there's a structure there. Okay, so there is a structure right here. So if this right here, there's one of two things that can happen. If this doesn't close with the buy signal and with the sell signal, this will be a rejection off this point. And then this can possibly swing all the way back up. All right, so there's no sell signal right there. This is technically a snipe entry. I'm not going to take this trade, but I'll mark it up for you guys for whoever does want to take it. Right there. So this would technically be a snipe entry. If you guys are familiar with the snipe entry, we look for a wick rejection off a K2 pivot, and we also look for a wick rejection off K2 SR zone. We have that right here. We have the confirmation of the bias right here with the bullish signal. And this technically would be a snipe entry. So if you guys want to take it, feel free. Like I mentioned, it is kind of risky right now because it is at all-time high. So this is probably a time to not really trade on the higher time frames. You probably want to take quicker moves because of the fact that price could, it's likely to be manipulated in this area. You can see obviously right here, the stock index is all green. So it doesn't make any sense for it to be dropping, but the reason it's dropping is because it's, it's being manipulated at the high. Even looking at the red stocks right here, none of them are even down 1 point. These are all like down very partial. So literally all these green stocks right here can just eat up the red stocks and they can continue pushing price up. However, just the fact that it's at the all-time high will cause it to just bounce, bounce around. You can even see right here, new 52-week all-time high today. So That's the only thing that's really affecting price, and that's why I'm not going to enter any trades right now. I'm going to look for some possible entries on the 3-minute. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to push back up above the pivots. I'm going to look for a tracement down, and then as we get a buy signal from here, that's where I'm going to take a trade. The reason I'm looking for trades on the 3-minute versus the 10-minute is because this is a bigger move. I'd rather go for the 3-minute move than the 10-minute move because I don't want to get caught in price, end up reversing on me or pushing down further. So just keep that in mind. Let me see what else we got over here. So let's see. A lot of you guys did lock in some profit off that. So whoever was moving fast enough, EW as well, locked in 6,982. Nice work, EW. She took the buy right there, actually. So on open, she took the buy right here at 9 lot. She made 711. You can see from the timestamp right there. She took this on market open. So nice work, EW, from that. Jay over here as well. Jay took the buy there. He also made some profit. So depending on where you guys made that entry earlier off that 1-minute, you guys could have made profit or didn't. Depending if you guys listened to whether, my advice, whether you guys entered on the actual entry point or if you guys entered right here. Because if you guys entered right here, you still could have caught some profit as it spiked back up. Because as it came down right here, you can see that it spiked up right here and you could have locked in about 200 pips. So it looks like Jay probably locked in profit right there because he made about 112. Looks like he entered as it came down here. As it spiked back up, he just pulled out right away. So, it's really about patience and getting it at perfect entry, especially if you're scalping, because you really have like that split second to enter into a trade. JR over here as well. So see, JR locked in about 1,553 for the day. He took the buy right there at open. He took a couple buys right here at open, actually. So he had all these wins right here, one loss right here. So he kind of stacked up positions, but he pulled out, at the different areas. So it looks like he probably entered initially on the open right here at 630. And then he entered again at the middle. And then he also entered again right here when it pulled back down. And that's where he made all this profit right here to add up, because this all happened from 630 till 637. So he was just stacking up positions as price was moving around. See what else we got over here. Scroll up real quick. Cheryl over here too. So Cheryl is up. Yeah, Cheryl said in and out for the day. And yes, that red one was a mistake. So Cheryl over here as well locked it in. She took some trades here at 630. This was the open for the buy. She made about 445, and she kind of just traded both ways. She traded both ways as it was bouncing around, and she locked in some pretty solid profit. So definitely nice work there. Let's see, Joshua. Yeah, we looked at Joshua's already. And then we got Romano here again, 1,194. And then we also got Patricia over here. Patricia for 2,691. Nice work, Patricia. So yeah, if you guys have more profit you guys want to send over, Alan as well. Let's see. Alan over here locked in a total of, damn, Alan locked in a lot. So Alan said had definitely moved fast to scalp this morning. So he was scalping NASDAQ. He also scalped US 30 right here at 630. He took that same open that we took at like on open. He made about 3,200 right here. Because that first move right here at 631, he made 2,755. And then right after he took another buy and he made 501. So in total for that one trade right there off the 1 minute, he got in perfectly at the open. And he got in probably again halfway through or down the middle for a total of 3,200 right here. So nice work, Alan. This is why it's important that you guys understand the strategy, because you guys can do this yourself. You don't have to wait for me to call trades, and you guys won't be entering trades too late. Ken over here as well. Kenton said that he took some trades off NASDAQ. So he made about 482, one small loss for $10. So he's technically up about 472. Nice work, Ken. Let's see, Joey over here too. Joey took the buy there on open. He actually locked in 1,011 right here. So he hopped in at the open and then he exited at CP1. So definitely whoever here understood the strategy and you guys pulled out at proper timing, you guys locked in some pretty solid profit. And I think that's it for right now. Yeah, Richard over here as well. So Richard took the trade here too. You can see the timestamps. He took it at 630. Initially he opened, made 730 off that. He entered again around the middle, and then he entered again on the pullback. So right here, he made a total of 1,557. Nice work, Richard. And Joshua too. So Joshua took another buy right there, locked in 624. Nice work, Joshua. And then Casey right here as well. Casey locked in a total of 1,382. He took the entries right there as well, locked in some pretty nice buys. All right. So that's about it for now. If you guys have more profits you guys want to send over, go ahead and send them over. Unfortunately, I was one of the people that took the short end of the stick, and I took a loss off that. But I mean, it's all good. I wasn't able to pay attention because I was busy. I was busy following via chat, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to pull out. I could have pulled out in profit because I did enter somewhere around this area. So I entered right here actually when it was bouncing around, right? So I entered right here. I was in profit pretty slightly. I was in profit about 200 pips. So I probably could have pulled out for like 2,000 profit right there. Unfortunately, I didn't pull out. I held on to it and then it came all the way back down. So, I mean, it's all good, guys. Shit happens, right? Even myself, I've been trading for a long time. I still make mistakes. So just keep that in mind. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you guys use proper risk and you guys don't, blow your account with like one trade. So yeah, looking at US 30 right here, it's bouncing all the way back up. So there goes the snipe entry that I just told you, right? It's about to hit full TP. So as you guys can see, if you guys know these strategies, you guys can easily pick up these trades right here and make some massive profits off this. Volatility is pretty crazy right now, but it is pushing up exactly to where we anticipated. I mentioned that it was going to shoot back up, and that's exactly what it's doing right now. It's pushing all the way back up. Check this real quick. All right, nice. Let me check the chat real quick. So let's see. Yeah, Joshua said I'm up about 400 for the day. I'm done for the day. Kind of weird day. Yeah, and you actually reached your goal, Josh. You got up to 600 today. Hassan said, what lot would you use for FTMO if you were only 100K account? Depending on what type of trade you're taking. If you're taking these US 30 trades that we're taking here, Hassan, then you would use a 5 lot max. You can use between a 3 and 5 lot, but the 5 lot would be the max for you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks, Jonathan, for answering that. Yeah, Kenneth just said that they're probably just collecting sell orders. And that's exactly what happened there, right? They try to lure in some more sellers. And then as soon as the sellers got in, they spiked it all the way back up, which is normal. It's typical market manipulation. Prices at the all-time high. Let's see. Kenneth said NAS breakout worked again. Nice. Might have to look into this more. Yesterday worked as well. Yeah, no, definitely. If you guys want to try these strategies that we're applying on different assets, you guys can try it. I know Tommy uses the same strategies on NASDAQ and he locks in for some pretty solid profit. He also does it on gold as well. So if you guys know Tommy in the group, the dude's profit I've been posting, he's in like locking like 10,000 a day. He trades NASDAQ, he trades gold, and he trades US 30. He pretty much uses all the strategies on all those different assets. I don't do it myself, but he does it. So if you want to ask about that, just pop in the group and then hit a Tommy. He'll probably answer your question. Yeah, Mark said another risky day today, so sitting this one out. Now, it's probably a good idea, Mark, if you're not comfortable with the market conditions. Let's see what else we got over here. Yeah, Charlie said hopefully it goes all the way back up. I'm assuming you're still in the position, huh, Charlie? You're just holding on to it. Yeah, I'm hoping it does too. I think it's going to go back up because, just going back to the fundamentals over here, fundamentals are always leading. So if the fundamentals are leading, technicals have to follow. It's just technicals are being manipulated right now because price is at an all-time high. And, that shit happens like every so often, unfortunately. Josh. So Josh said, any advice on social trader copier? I took about 7 trades, none of them copied to the funding talent challenge. Did you map the symbols, Josh? Because the symbols are different. You have to map the symbols. So if you're trading, I mean, depending on what account you're trading on, which account are you trading the main account? If you're trading all funding talent, then it should be fine. But if you're trading it from different brokers, each broker has different, what's FH? Oh, FTM. Yeah, they have different symbols, Josh. So you have to go into the account and map them. So like you have to tell the copier that, because if you look over here, let me see if I can find what I'm looking for. So let me just show you my profits here. So you'll have to map it right here, because if you guys can see here my FTMO, it's US30.cash. You have to map it so that it knows if you take US30.cash, then you take this, which is .US30 cash, right? They're different symbols. So you have to just tell the copier, like, yo, if I take this trade on FTMO, I want you to copy that trade on funding talent, which is a different symbol. And that's what you would fix. And then it would copy it over. And then you would fix your lot size, because I'm assuming your account sizes are different. Because, you know, if your account size is like a 200K on FTMO, that's why for me here on my accounts, for my FTMO, I take a 10 lot normally. And then for my funding talent, it's 100K, it's half. So I take a 5 lot. Okay, you're fine. Then you can do 5 lot for all of them, or you can just do same lot size. It just depends on how you want to do it. If you want to do equal, or if you want to do a fixed rate or a fixed lot size. But yeah, guys, another weird trading day for us here for US30. It's just, you know, it's bouncing around a lot here on the snipe entry. It's still bouncing around this area. Technically, there's a confirmation that's probably going to push up even higher, because it is pushing from here. So we'll see what happens from here. But I mean, it's all good. Market just moves like this on some days, especially a day when we're at an all-time high. So it's cool. Check this real quick. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and then I can answer them. I don't really have much to look at today because of how the market's moving. We're still waiting for an entry. So right here on the 3-minute, we're looking for a buy signal. Until we get a buy signal, we don't really have an entry to look at. Same here on the 1-minute. We're looking for this to close or not close. We're looking for this to swing above here, come back down, and then we catch the buy signal as it swings up further. So, you know, it's just a game of patience, especially at a time like this when the market isn't really moving that smooth. See market sentiment over here. Market sentiment hasn't changed very much. As you guys can see from earlier today, market sentiment was about 75% this morning before market open, and it reached 71%. The reason why it reached 71% is because a lot of these people got stopped out when it spiked up right here. You know, obviously you can see this is a big push up right here. So that's why we took the buy, because it was pushing up right here against market sentiment. And as soon as it pushed up higher and higher, it started to stop people out. So, you know, the percentage here went from 75 to 74 to 73 to now 71, because as people get stopped out, they just get pulled out of position. And at that point, when they get pulled out, they either got their account blown, or they just, I mean, there's different things here that could have caused them to you know, get pulled out and not want to hop back in. Oh, we do have no news right now. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, so Kyle said, yeah, and it was negative just like we anticipated, right? So last week or last month, pending home sales were at 8.3% in the positive. Now it's at negative 1.9. So home sales are declining rapidly right now. It's not even at the break-even point. It's negative right now. So it has 1.9% less than what it was doing last month. And this number is probably going to keep increasing, you know, especially with COVID coming back and whatnot and stuff like that. The unemployment claims are probably going to keep going up as well. And same with pending home sales. But, you know, these unemployment claims, this might not be a real number, honestly, because a lot of people are just lazy and they don't want to go back to work. They'd rather just take unemployment. So this number is kind of skewed. I really want to base off unemployment claims like that, because we're probably going to get news articles saying that people are claiming unemployment, but there are jobs available. So just, you know, keep that in mind. There's a lot of different things in the market that affects how things move. But you know, some of them do affect the market a little bit heavier than a little bit heavier than others. Yeah, so no entry here off the 1 minute yet. No entry off the 3 minute. So if you guys have any questions, you guys want me to cover any strategies, let me know, and then I can go over them. But right now, there's just no entries available at this point. And if you guys are brand new here, I'll show you what we're looking for on the 1 minute. So looking over here, this is a K2 US30 1 minute pivot scalp. So first you want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. momentum signal. 2, you want to confirm, or 2A, confirm price is breaking and closing past K2 pivots 3 and 4. Or if that's not there, 2B, confirm price is above pivots for a buy or below for a sell. So if you guys are wondering what we're looking for here, let me just show you a couple examples. All right, let's replay it to here. So this is basically what we're looking for at this point, right? We're looking for, the first requirement is a valid K2 momentum signal. So we're looking for a valid K2 momentum signal. A valid signal is when we have a green buy signal with a green candle within it. So right here we have a valid momentum signal for a buy. Next, we want to confirm price is breaking, closing past K2 pivots 3 and 4. Right here, price is not breaking past the pivots. So we skip 2A, we go down to 2B. We confirm price is above the pivots for a buy. Right here, you can see price is above the pivots. We take a long position right here. We let this run. We go for about 100 pips. We let this run. And actually, wait, what time was this? Actually, we wouldn't have taken this trade here. Sorry, guys, because this is like right before market open. So this is kind of a bad example. We have to take one that's like in the open. But yeah, looking at this right here, that's basically what we're looking for. And there's another one right here. But so if you took either one, this would have been a loss. This would have been a win. But we don't take trades like right before open. We take these like in the middle of the day. But I'm just showing you guys an example of exactly what we're looking for here. So we're basically looking for this pattern, but over here, when like the market's actually moving. Right here, we don't want to take it because this is pre-market. And there's usually like, prices charging up to have some sort of breakout. Actually, no, I'm wrong, guys. That was my bad. Go back over there if I can. So my stop loss wasn't done properly. Actually, let's wait for this right here real quick on the 1 minute. So this is a negative risk to reward for this strategy here. The reason for that's because it's too volatile, right? We're catching a small move, but we need a safety net to catch that move right here. So this right here actually was fine. The problem was I didn't set my stop loss right. So TP was 10. TP was 10. Stop loss was 30. So if you took that trade right there, that actually would have hit TP right there. But we still wouldn't have taken the trade there because of the volatility. It's just way too volatile. No entry here off the 1 minute. We gotta wait for the next one. And then same situation for this next entry right here. So I'll just go back and I'll show you guys again. Sorry, that was my mistake. I incorrectly put the TP stop loss. So for example, right here, we are looking for the valid K2 signal, price to be above the pivots. That all qualified, we enter a long right there. There you go, full TP. So full TP off that, and then again right here, same situation. It's just the same requirements. But I probably wouldn't enter any trades right here because this is like right on open. So if you took that trade right there, I mean, it's the same situation, again, another full TP. And that's basically what we're looking for right here. We're waiting for a buy signal to close right here so that we can take this for a buy. But it just hasn't happened yet. So we got about 4 seconds left on this candle. It's attempting to close. So like right there, you can see for these past 3 signals right here, or these past 3 candles, we had a buy signal, but it hasn't closed off yet. Brian, the TP for it's 130 for 1 minute. So it's 10 points and 30 points. Translating that to pips, you just add a 0 to the end. So it's 10 ticks, which is 10 points. Technically, this is going to be equivalent to 100 pips. So you just add a 0 to it. So this is for the 1 minute. The 3 minute is a similar strategy. It's just TP stop loss is slightly different as well. So there's going to be, obviously there's going to be some adjustments to that. For the 3 minute, let me go ahead and just show you guys that real quick over here. For the 3 minute, it's the same strategy, but it's just TP stop loss is different. It's just 25.50 instead. Back at the 1 minute over here. So you can see these past 4 candles right here have been trying to close, but it hasn't been able to close yet. But it's the same strategy that we're looking for here as well on the 3 minute. So for example, right here, we're looking for the same thing. We're looking for price to close above it with a valid signal. So like right here, we have that. We set this to 25.50. And if that hits right there, it goes to full TP. And this is why I like the 3-minute more, because it's a bit more stable. It's not as volatile. I mean, it's volatile, but it's not as crazy moving. We have another pending entry right here on the 3-minute as well. Long position right there. So let's see. We got about 10 seconds left on here. The 1 minute too. 5 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, no entry there yet. We need that confirmation of the valid signal until it, until it pushes. Let's see, Tillman said a snipe. Oh yeah, the snipe is still running right now, the original one. There's actually 3 snipes that were available. There's one here, the original. There's one for this green one, and then one for this red one. So depending on which one you guys are looking at, technically I would go with the first one that hasn't finished yet, which should be this one right here. Because I generally don't like to stack up positions. You guys can if you use a smaller lot size. Like say if you're using a quarter of the lot size or a third of the lot size, you can actually take all 3 trades right here. But this snipe is one that we have locked in from earlier. It's still pushing up in profit. Looking at the 3-minute over here, it still hasn't closed. Same with the 1 minute over here as well. So there's actually some pretty solid entries going on right now. And since all of these are lining up, we have the buy running on the 10-minute. We have the buy pending on the 3-minute. We also have the buy pending on the 1 minute over here as well. With all of those lining up, it actually gives us some greater confidence that price is going to keep pushing up higher and higher from that point. For the most part, it's just a matter of time before it actually closes. Because looking at the fundamentals over here, it's still pretty bullish. It's still up 162 points. So there's no reason for the Dow to be pushing down. If you look at the index right here, it literally makes no sense for it to drop. That drop earlier was based off manipulation. You can see here, even the 2 main stocks here that are red, they're not very red. They're down 0.5. The other one's down 0.9. Everything is pretty green here. So for that to show, it's going to indicate that price is just going to keep going up higher and higher. It's just a matter of time for it to go up. Right now, market's just kind of flat because it's at the all-time high. It's just getting a lot of pressure from the top side because of where price currently is. So yeah, I mean, in the future, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I confirm the all-time highs. Just that we're not always at all-time highs. We haven't been at all-time highs like for a while now, for like a couple days, a couple weeks. So actually it's just a couple days, but yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest factors here that was causing price to get caught up. Going back to the 1 hour over here, you can see price is kind of just consolidating now. It's not really moving very much. Mark this up over here, the open. Okay, the open here at 620. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna leave that off because it's kind of irrelevant at this point since we have price already above it. Let's see. So some of you guys are sending me more profits. So let's see. I'm gonna scroll up real quick. We got Josh over here. Josh locked in a total of 1,192. Nice work, Josh. Looks like you possibly took the breakout too over there. It looks like you had a couple trades at 6:30. So definitely nice work right there, Josh. We also got RJ over here. RJ has no losses, straight wins, total of 4,010. Nice work, RJ. Yeah, total of 5,150 actually. So definitely great profit today, RJ. Gary over here as well. Gary locked in a total of 4,430. Nice work, Gary. Yeah, so you guys are doing pretty solid. You guys can see here that everyone is doing pretty solid. Nice. Alex over here too. So Alex, he's trading on demo right here. He's still trying to figure things out, but he did lock in some nice profit off those buys. So it's good to see a lot of you guys here still lock in some buys. Looks like I was probably the only one that took a loss off that trade because I wasn't paying attention. But I mean, it's all good. I'm glad to see all you guys here lock in all these wins because it seems like everyone here locked in a bunch of wins. Definitely great work right there, Alex. Yeah, no, it's good. Alex is actually, he just started learning like this week. So definitely great work to Alex over there for locking those profits. But you guys are doing pretty solid. If you guys have more profits you guys want to send over to me, go ahead and send them over. And then I can add them to the list of profits for the day. Nice. Yeah, Semtex over here too. So Semtex locked in a total of 3,421 for the day. So we had a couple, sorry, let me go back over here, make sure I'm not missing these entries. Semtex over here as well, locked in some nice wins off that breakout. Looks like he had a small accidental loss right there, another small accidental loss, but for the most part, he locked in some pretty solid profits right here. Total of, oh, and he took the snipe entry. So he said, done. That snipe entry was insane. Thank you, Shawn. So he took the snipe entry right there, and he actually locked in some pretty solid profit off that 10-minute. He took this one right here. He let it right up, moved his stop loss in profit, then he's out in profit. So he made a total of 3,421 off the snipe entry right here. So if you guys understand these, that's why it's important that you guys understand these strategies, because if you guys understand what I'm talking about, you guys can hop into these trades and not really, like, you know, there's no reason for you guys to second guess what I'm talking right now. Because like if I'm telling you guys that this is a good trade and you guys should hop in, like Semtex over here, I didn't even take the trade myself because I'm busy looking at these other time frames. But Semtex over here, he listened, he knew the strategy we were applying. He took the trade and then he locked in 3,000 off this move right here. He probably entered from down here. It pushed up about 400 pips. So he probably exited around the 300 pip area because he locked in some pretty nice profit off that one trade. This is probably gonna hit TP. It's just gonna be a matter of time. It's just, you know, it's just the market's moving kind of funky today. It's been moving kind of weird like all week. So here's a 3-minute entry right here. Let's see, I'm gonna take this trade. Yeah, so these trades here are kind of risky, guys. I mean, it is a valid entry right there, and it's going to be past the 10-minute snipe. But, you know, just keep in mind that these trades are definitely going to be a little risky. I'm going to see how price is going to be moving over here. I'm not going to enter it just yet. If you guys want to enter it, feel free. I'm gonna let it push up a little bit before I enter the trade. So just keep in mind, you know, this this is exactly how this thing's working. It's going back and forth. Generally, if market was moving smoothly, then I would hop in right away. But today, just because it's at an all-time high, it makes it a little risky. Lucas is asking, how did you know market would bounce there? Because we're following the strategy that we're applying right here. You know, if you guys aren't familiar with this, I'll give you guys the requirements for this strategy. And if you guys want to learn the strategy, if you guys are brand new here and you guys want to learn all these strategies that I'm applying here, it's all available on the website. Just go to the website, k2trades.com, click on K2 strategy course right here, and I teach you exactly what I'm doing here. You have access to my indicators so that you guys can take these trades. It looks like it's about to hit full TP right there. Let's see. So we need that full TP. If that full TP hits, it's going to cover the loss from earlier, the accidental loss for the breakout. But let me go ahead and put the requirements over here for you, Lucas, since it seems like you're kind of new here, so you might not be familiar with this. This is a K2 US 30 10-minute snipe. So first you want to confirm a wick rejection of any K2 pivot. Second, you want to confirm a wick rejection of K2 SR zone. Third, you want to confirm direction of momentum using K2 momentum indicator. And then lastly, you want to confirm wick rejection of K2 pivot does not touch candle body, right? So those are the requirements right there for this strategy. The reason we knew it was going to bounce off this is because we followed the strategy exactly how it's applied. So going back to this candle right here, first you want to confirm a wick rejection off any K2 pivot. Right here, there's 4 different K2 pivots. Right here, it's rejecting off the red pivot, which is K2 pivot number 4. It's the strongest pivot. Lastly, you want to confirm a wick rejection off the K2 SR zone. There's a zone right here. The reason we got this zone is because I turned on the K2 SR indicator right here, and there was a zone right there, right? You can see the zone right here. I just drew a rectangle over it to clean it up. So we had a zone right there. I turn it back off, clean it up. And with that said, we have, we have the 2 requirements right there. We have requirement number 1, requirement number 2. We confirm the direction of the K2 of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. Right here, the vertical lines are momentum. So right here, we have a buy momentum. So we have an indication that momentum is going to swing to the upside. We have all three confirmations right there. Last, you just want to confirm the rejection off the K2 pivot doesn't touch the candle body. The body's up here, the pivot's down here, far from it. So everything's been met. And that's why we entered the trade right there. That's exactly why it bounced from that point. So let me just go back to the normal chart. And that's exactly how we identified that bounce right there, using the strategy that we generally use for this here. No, it's not a support zone. It's a different type of zone. Well, I mean, yeah, it's technically a support zone, but the thing is, there's a lot of support zones here. That's not just the only support, right? That's why we have the K2SR indicator here to identify where the actual strong supports are. Because the thing is, there's a bunch of support areas here, but you don't know exactly where the strong support is. Because you'll see a lot of people place support in like random areas. Like they'll be like, oh, this is support, right? They'll just mark this up like, oh, this is support. And then they'll say, oh, this is support. But which one's the support that's actually strong, right? Which one actually matters? Because there's a lot of support areas right here. Like you can literally draw support at any bounce. But in reality, it's like a lot of people place support in the wrong places. And that's what gets them caught in bad trades. That's why I created the algorithm to automatically plot it. Basically, the zones here only plot zones if these areas have been tested at the same exact price point more than 2 times. So basically my algorithm, what it does, it identifies like where there's like strong pivots in price. Like in order for it to be in this area. Yeah, no, exactly, Lucas, you're 100% right. Because the thing with this is in order for a zone to come up, price has to literally reject off that same price point more than twice. Like for example, right here at 35.66, it would have to touch that more than 2 points or more than 2 times at the same exact price point. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, if you want to learn, if anyone's new here and you guys want to learn the strategy, it's available to you. That's pretty much how everyone here is locking in some solid profits on their own. See Kip over here too. So Kip has been he's been following the position right here. He took about, and we took a lot of trades here. So Kip said, I kept moving stop loss and profits in the breakout. Have been grabbing scalpers everywhere. Exactly. So he locked in some pretty nice profit. He took trades off gold, US 30, NASDAQ 100, Euro NZD, a total of about, looks like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, about 5,000 or 6,000 right here. Kip locked in. All wins, no losses. Definitely great work right there, Kip, with that entry you took there, or all the entries you took actually. Let's see. All right, cool. So let's see if I'm missing anything else here. So as you can see right here, this is why I didn't enter the 3-minute, because even though this was what I was looking for, I was waiting for it to actually push up before I hopped in, because the way that the market's moving is very indecisive right now. It's kind of just bouncing back and forth. Yeah, Maddie over here too. Maddie said, good thing I didn't take the 3-minute. Exactly. Yeah, Roman said market is flat like a pancake. Yeah, so like I was saying before, guys, sometimes when the market's moving like this, it's better just not to trade, because you can see here on the 1-minute, it's kind of just going sideways. It's not really moving at all. If you just drew these little areas right here, you can see from market open right here, it broke into this zone or this range, and then now it's just going sideways. This is the worst market to trade in. You don't want to trade when market's going sideways, because you can get caught in a breakout in the opposite direction. So for me personally, I don't know if I'm gonna enter any more trades. I might just take the loss for the day. Or I don't know, we'll see. It's starting to get volatile again. If it breaks above it, then it might be a good time to enter. But like I've been telling you guys here, it's just too risky to be trading in a market like this. We've already made a lot of profit for this month, for this week so far. I'm not really trying to risk anything else, because we rarely lose trades here. And when you do lose a trade on a day, it's usually a sign that maybe it's not a good day to trade, because of the market volatility and because of how it's been moving. So, one thing to just keep in mind, guys, is you don't have to trade every day, right? You don't have to take like 20 trades a day. For me, I only take about 1 to 3 trades a day, and they almost always win. But if I ever do suffer a loss, I usually just call it a day, because that usually gives me a hint that, hey, market's probably not moving smoothly today. You should probably just take a break, come back tomorrow. But if you guys want to continue trading, you guys can. It's just, keep in mind that it's going to be a risky trading day for you. The main thing about it being risky is just the fact that it reached an all-time high. I think if we weren't at the all-time high, market would be moving a lot smoother, kind of like it was a couple days ago. But yesterday, like if you guys just look at the stock index right here and use your common sense, right? Just use common logical sense. If everything's green right here, it shouldn't come down at all, right? It's been green since market open. But if you look at market open right here, so market open here at 6:30, right? Price came up. Stock market's been green the entire day. Like it hasn't been red at all. It's been like slightly red, but it's been green the whole day. Even though that happened, look what happened at price. It came all the way back down. So this shows you that it's market manipulation right here, because there's no reason for price to go this far down. It dropped about 1,200 pips. So it literally makes no sense for it to drop. You guys have been following me since 6:30 when the New York Stock Exchange opened, and this has been green the entire morning. Like the whole morning, it's been green. This has been above like 100. It was like above 200 points. It's stayed strong above 150 points the entire morning. And the future index is straight green too. So just, tying two and two together, it like, this is just clear market manipulation. This is what you don't want to get caught in. Because the thing right here is, what I see happening is people are probably going to just keep getting trapped into these sells. And then around mid-market, probably around, let's see, the mid-market reversal happens around like 9 to 10. So I think they'll probably keep pushing price farther and farther down. And then from like 9 to 10 over here, you're probably going to see some sort of spike up at some point. It's just going to keep, this is what I kind of see happening. It's probably going to go sideways, maybe drop a little bit, sideways, and then all of a sudden it's just going to shoot all the way back up, and then maybe break the all-time high or something like that, right? Because that's generally what happens when market manipulation happens. Because the thing is, they can only manipulate price for so long. They can only manipulate price to trick people to enter these sells. And then as soon as there's enough sellers in the market, price goes where it's supposed to go, because that's where it's supposed to go up right now. I mean, it just literally just doesn't make any sense, right? It's like supply, like if you think about basically supply and demand, if something's in demand, aka the stocks, there's no reason for it to be dropping the index. So, I mean, it's all good. I mean, shit like this happens, and you just got to go with the blows. As long as you guys are locking in profits every day and you guys are consistent, small losses shouldn't really affect you at all. But yeah, I'm personally not going to take any more trades today. It's already 7:30. I generally stop trading at 8 o'clock. And at this point, I think there's just nothing for me to really look at this point. The only thing that I'm kind of waiting for is for this to hit the 10-minute. I'm even tempted to enter for a late entry at some point right here. If it comes back down to entry, I just don't want to enter here and then I get in for a bad entry point. But yeah, today's just, I mean, this entire trading session has just been kind of wacky for price to be going down like this. When all of the fundamentals are pushing towards the upside. Even looking over here at the sentiment, let's see, 71%. Even the retail traders are hopping back into the sells. So what I see happening right here is they're trying to trap some sellers into the market. They're trying to push it down so that these retail traders, people bandwagon on this. They see price drop and they're like, oh, it's going to drop. So what happens is they try to enter the trade, and then as they enter the trade, price just ends up going back up, right? So right here, this is kind of what I see happening. I see them pushing price slightly. Once this number right here increases to like 72, 73, once it goes above 75, then you could probably expect the market makers to I can already picture them in their offices, like just getting ready to trap all these people. Like they're just waiting for enough retail traders to hop in. And then once they have enough people in there, they just spike price up. They stop them out and they make money off all those people. So just keep that in mind. You guys got to look at this from a psychological perspective. Just think about, if you were not, think of yourself as the market maker. If you're a market maker, how are you going to make money? You got to stop out all the retail traders, right? If you get thousands of people on these sells and then you just spike price up because you have enough money, like you're a whale to push price like that, they all get stopped out, and then you could pull out from your position. You get a huge spike of volatility right there, right? So from my theory before, like if you guys have been following what I've been going over, what I generally do is when market sentiment is really high, is I mark up areas where I think people are placing their stop losses. So like one of those areas would be like right here, right? So if price is to break above here and people get their stop losses triggered, what do you think is going to happen? Price is going to spike up slightly. It's basically like what happened right here. With these spikes over here, the reason why it spiked up is because it hit areas of liquidity, right? So if you go back over here, like farther back from yesterday, you can see where the highs are right here. And when price finally reached those highs right here, it had a huge big candle, right? Because it was an area of liquidity. So like from here, when price hit their stop losses, it just pushed up for a stop loss hunt right there, straight push up to the upside. So yeah, guys, I mean, other than that, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably just be calling it a day kind of early because I don't want to be trading anymore with these conditions here. Main thing I'll be following is the 10-minute here, though. I still think this is going to hit TP. I'm even tempted to enter right now, to enter when it came back down right here, but I am definitely tempted to enter because of how it's moving. Damn, Tommy over here too. So Tommy locked in 8,050. Damn, nice work, Tommy. So as you guys can see right here, I'll go down the profit list over here. So if you guys have any more profits, just go ahead and send them over. Salorm over here locked in a total of 1,411. Damn, nice work, Salorm. You've been on fire. So Salorm here has been like straight wins. You can see like my whole conversation with Salorm. Salorm signed up to K2 like in January. So Salorm has been with us for about like 7 months. You can see from the beginning. I don't want to show our conversation here, Salorm, but Salorm was making like 38 bucks with us in the beginning, right? She was here sorry, Salorm, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but Salorm here was in May. Salorm took the first trade with us, made 34 bucks, right? From May, you can see Salorm's increase from May to June, went from making 34 bucks a day to making 524 a day, right? And then from June up until late June, now 2,879 a day. And this is a personal account. This isn't FTMO because you don't see a dot cash or anything like that. And then, so you can see the progress here, right? People join in like January, they start with signals, they go over to the indicator. So starting with signals, they're making like 34 bucks. They get the indicators. You can see our messages right here. Hi, Shawn, just signed up for the indicators on June 22nd. June 25th, 3 days later, locked in 524. 3 days later on June 28th, locked in 2,879. And then every day since then, she's been making 2,377. This is on July 2nd. Again over here, some nice profit. July 5th over here, $1,000 profit. July 8th, $2,000 profit. So now consistently thousands of dollars every day because Salorm's understood how the strategy works, right? From January making 30 bucks to June making 2,000 bucks to July making, how much did you make over? 5,000 bucks, right? In one day, this is a single day. July 9th, 3,000, every day Salorm sends me the profits, 6,000 right here. So every day in July, Salorm's been locked in about 1,000 to 5,000 a day, right here, consistent. July 14th, slow day, made 703. July 15th, 832. July 19th, back in the thousands range. July 20th, back 500 range because market kind of slowed down a little bit, but it's all in consistency. See these all wins right here? No losses, straight wins. Because the consistency, if you guys learn my strategies and you guys lock this stuff in, you guys can easily lock in some pretty massive profit. But definitely great work today, Salorm. Another 1,400 just added you to the list of profits. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, and you guys can see, these are people's success stories. Like I can show you guys my profits, but that stuff wouldn't really impress you because obviously I'm gonna do well. Everyone here is doing my strategies. But if you guys see other people here killing it every day, this is really what shows you that it really works because it's not just me that's hitting these trades here. Going up over here. So I'll just show you everyone's profits from the day. If I scroll up to here, this is the timestamp for today. You can see Adrian over here. Adrian locked in 1,043. EW here locked in 6,982. Jay over here locked in 112. JR over here locked in 1,553. Cheryl over here locked in about 1,000 right there, 1,000, 2,000. Romano locked in 1,194. Patricia locked in 2,691. Alan locked in about, Alan locked in a lot actually, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Alan locked close to like 10,000 for the day. That's crazy, Alan. Yeah, so Alan locked in about 10,000 for the day. And the thing with Alan is he joined K2 like last month and he's planning on quitting his job. So, I mean, if you keep this up, Alan, you lock this much profit in daily, you'll be quitting your job probably pretty soon. Joey over here, he locked in 1,000 for the day. Richard locked in 1,557 for the day. Josh over here locked in 624. Casey locked in 1,387. Josh over here locked in 1,192. RJ locked in 4,010. RJ over here is total profits for the day 5,150. Gary locked in about 4,430. Alex over here locked in 644. Robert over here locked in 4,100. Semtex locked in 3,421. So you can see here, I'm not the only person that profits here. There's like hundreds of people here that profit with us daily. Kip over here locked in about 3,000, 4,000. Tommy locked in 8,050. Slorm locked in 1,411. When there's like a double post there. And a couple other people here sent the profits as well. So we saw, so John over here locked in 982, basically 1,000 at that point. Maddie over here locked a profit of 685. Yeah, definitely. Maddie said small profit, but I'm happy with no losses. LOL, crazy market. Exactly. So you guys got to be content with these wins, right? If you're making a couple thousands a day, that's a lot. That's like what a lot of people make in a paycheck. Looking at Sisu over here, Sisu locked in 2,727. So definitely great work right there, Sisu. So for you guys who are new here and you guys haven't seen the breakdown, you know, a lot of you guys want to just make 100,000 a year, right? And I'll just break it down for you. 100,000 a year. You divide that by 12 months in the year, 4 weeks in the month, and then 5 days in a week, right? Because we trade every single day, Monday through Friday. So if you could lock in $416 a day, like that's it. That's all you need to lock in. If you take one trade with me and lock in $416 a day, you can make 100,000 by the end of the year. You look at Sisu over here, he locked in 2,000. Everyone's way above, 400. Maddie locked in 600 right there. So John locked in 900. You know, everyone here is if they're consistent and they stay trading with me every single day and they apply the strategies how they're supposed to be applied, by the end of the year, they'll make 6 figures easily, taking a few trades with me every morning. And this is a long-term goal here. So, just looking at like Maddie over here. So say Maddie locks in 685 a day, right? And I'll show you the breakdown of what the total will be at the end of the year if he does that every single day. So 685, and he considers this small profit. So if you make a small profit, technically small profit, you make this a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, 12 months in a year, that's 164,000 annual profits. If you're consistent and you're conservative with your trades here, you take like 3 trades a day, small profits, but they add up. So you guys got to look at the long-term goal. A lot of people want to make like 10,000 a day. It's not necessary. You don't have to do that. You can make a couple hundreds a day and you can still lock in, 100,000 by the end of the year. And then from there you can level up and then you can go from making hundreds a day to thousands a day to 10,000s a day, right? It's a gradual process. The better you get using my strategies here, the better you're going to have with your results moving forward. So definitely great work to everyone here. I'm glad to see everyone profit, even though I took a loss today, unfortunately. But it's all good. So Duggan over here wants me to take a look at AUD/USD for a buy. Let me go check out AUD/USD real quick. So Duggan, looking at AUD/USD right here, it technically looks like an okay buy, but the problem with it is that there's so many zones in this area. So I was looking at this buy as well. Just looking at this right here, you can see price came up and then it rejected off the pivot, the K2SR zone right here, right? So just looking at AUD/USD, it looks like it can push up, but the problem is there's a lot of areas of rejection right here. So what could happen is even though price pushes up, Duggan, it can bounce off this point, right? Say price pushes up to here. Even if price pushes up to this area right here, it can still bounce off right here, right? Vice versa. There's so many areas here where price can just bounce off. So me personally, I wouldn't really trade this right now because of how it's moving. Where I would want to trade this is when price closes above here. So this could be an okay area right here. Oh, the snipe just hit full TP. All right, there we go. Let's see. Steven said if we can get the horns. So yeah, guys, there you go. So full TP off this 10-minute of this snipe entry right here. So whoever caught this snipe, Lucas, I don't know if you're still here, but this is the one we were looking at earlier. It just hit full TP. I'll give you guys an update in the group because a lot of you guys did take this trade here. I probably should have entered when it came back down right here. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention. And that's just what happens, right? That's why it's kind of unfortunate that sometimes I miss trades. But I'm happy to see that you guys are still locking in some pretty solid profits overall. So whoever took this trade right here, if you took this trade and and you took the breakout earlier, you would have covered that loss and you would have made more profit with the other entries as well. So definitely great profit off that right there for whoever caught it. Kind of wish I did, but it's all good. I mean, I'm glad to see you guys profiting here. You know, it's no big deal. I'll make it back tomorrow. You know, our win rate here is extremely high. So, you know, one small setback for me is it's not gonna break the bank, especially when I'm taking proper risk. Yeah, it'll happen. So definitely great work here. You guys killed it. Oh man, Enzo said close too early. So it's okay, Enzo. You know, sometimes that happens, but profit is profit. You guys got to keep in mind, like I just told you, long-term goal here, right? Long-term goal is to maximize wins, minimize losses, and eliminate them as much as possible. The 3 minutes about to hit TP as well over here as well. I missed this trade too. This is kind of why I kind of don't like going live, because I can't focus on my trades, but it's all good because as long as you guys are profiting, it's cool, because I'm still gonna be profiting probably tomorrow or the next day. I'll just make those profits up. But another reason why I do like going on these live sessions is because you guys keep me in line, right? If I make mistakes, you guys will call me out on it. So that's why I don't really make mistakes. I generally call good trades all the time because, you know, I have an audience here. If I fuck up, you guys are going to call me out on it, and I already know it's going to happen. So that's why I don't really mess up as often. But anyways, looking at AUD/USD over here, like I was talking about earlier, Duggan, I probably wouldn't enter right here. I'd wait for it to close above here. If it closes above here, then you have some space. See this big open space right here? If you were to take this trade right here and you write it up, it's a nice little profit for about 20 pips or so, right? You can probably enter right there for a buy. Or an even better area would be up here. If price closes above here, then this is going to be an even better entry, because if you enter from that point, check that out, you get locked in like 70 points. It's just about patience, right? I know some people are impatient, they want to enter right away, but for me, I value like waiting for the perfect entry. I'd rather wait for the perfect entry and have a quality entry than to just enter a buy just because. But it does look like it's going to push up. It's just risky because there's a lot of areas where price can bounce off. But you can see right here, it's the same pattern, right? So if I turn this off right here, the pivots, you see the same pattern right here where we had the buy signal, price broke and closed past the structure. If you took the entry right here, it's the same thing that we're looking for. It's another huge move right there for about 65 pips. So if you wait up here, if you're patient enough to wait for it to come up here, you can still lock in on this right here as well. So yeah, definitely I would wait for it. And if it does close above here, then I would take a trade at that point, Duggan. But right now it's just a little risky because price can bounce off these areas at any point. Yeah, Roman said, just focus on trading, Shawn, and answer questions later in the session. Yeah, no, we've tried that before, but the thing is, if I do that, then I'm going to prolong my session, and I got to be on here for like hours. Because before, I know you're kind of new here, Roman, but before when I was doing these sessions, I would be on these sessions for like 5 hours. So like I'd be super drained at the end. So like for me now, I'd rather just get everything out of the way, like right up front. But yeah, definitely great profit off this. If any of you guys have any of the profits you guys want to send over, feel free. So Albert here took the buy, or he took a buy on Bitcoin, locked in 24. Nice work, Albert. Again, over here, he took US 30 and Bitcoin. He locked in a total of 559 for the day. Great work, Albert. Congrats. So he actually just closed his trades right now, and they actually locked in some pretty massive profits right there. Let me see if there's anything else that Maddie over here too. So Maddie said locked in a little more because I needed that at least a band. Yeah. So Maddie's goal is like 1,000 a day. So Maddie over here, he took that buy for the snipe, and he locked in 490 for a total of 1,140 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. So looking at Maddie right here. So here's the thing. Maddie's goal is to make 1,000 a day, right? If he makes 1,000 a day, so like here's 1,000 times 5 days in the week times 4 months in the 4 weeks in the month and 12 months in the year. If Maddie locks in 1,000 each day, he'll lock in a total of 240,000 in a year's time. So as you guys can see, long-term goals here, right? Long-term goals. That's all you have to lock in. It's just reverse engineering what your requirements would be. And Maddie, look, you're 30 minutes about to hit TP too. Almost there. There you go, man. It came old. I should have entered that trade too. So there you go. Yeah, all the way up. So it hit. So there you go, guys. Another full TP right there for the 3 minute. Gallo's asking you if I think it'll continue up. Yeah, I mean, from earlier, and if, I don't know if you just got in the room, Gallo, but earlier I was discussing that it's supposed to go up. Everything is pointing toward the upside, so there's no reason for it to drop. And I was expecting it to break the all-time high. I personally don't. I mean, I'm not going to enter because it becomes risky at that point. If you're just entering just to enter, it becomes risky. But I do think it's going to push up because it's getting close to that all-time high again right here. I just got screwed this morning because I got caught in the manipulation. But it did exactly what we anticipated, right? I anticipated to push up, and look what happened. Push all the way up. And it's probably going to break the all-time high. If not today, I'll probably break it by tomorrow. But I mean, it's all good, whatever. Like I mentioned before, like I mentioned before, I just don't feel comfortable with like how the market's moving. And unfortunately, like I got caught in the market manipulation earlier. So I'm probably going to be done for the day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me or reach out through Telegram. Telegram's probably going to be your best option because I have a ton of emails to get through. But for the most part, let's see. Yeah, that's it right here. So there you go, guys. If you guys have any other profits to send over, go ahead and send them over. Let's see, Joshua over here. Nice. So Joshua said he held a breakout and done for the day. Yeah, so if you guys held on to that breakout, I mean, you guys could have still locked in some pretty massive profit. I kind of wish I held on to it with you, Joshua, because Joshua locked in a total of 236 for the day. Nice. Yeah, if I held on to that breakout, I would have been perfectly fine because I'd be back in profit, and I actually make a lot off those trades. So definitely a great day today, guys. Congrats to everybody who locked into profits. I already went over the profits, so I'm not going to go over them again. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out through email. Email is probably going to take a while because I haven't gone through any emails this week. But if you guys, let's see. Yeah, if you guys send me an email, it's probably going to take some time for me to get to you guys because I have a long, have a lot of emails. So many emails to get through today. So I got a lot of emails to get through. If you guys want to message me, I think Telegram would be your best option. But at least give me a day to respond because I do have a lot of messages here as well. So other than that, we should be good. So yeah, guys, have a great rest of your morning. If you guys don't have to trade the rest of the morning, I recommend you guys don't. The Gallo's asking, what's the most you seeing someone make? I mean, there's a lot of people who have made a ton of profit. I think Surin or SA. Sorry, I can't remember his name, but if you guys have been around for a while, you guys have seen a couple of people lock in like crazy profits every day, like 50,000 a day. There's like one person who locked in like 100K in a day. I wasn't sure if he was like he said he was trading a 400K account with FTMO, but I'm not sure because I haven't actually. Let me see, CZ. That's his name. Okay. Yeah, so CZ over here, he's locked in 73K in one day. Yeah, and I think he locked in like 100K too. So there was this one day where he was holding it, like we were taking sells, and he took it from like London up until like our session in the morning. So he locked in some pretty heavy. I think he got close to this much. I haven't talked to SD in a while. He's abroad right now, so I'll probably catch up with him. But yeah, I don't know where he's been, but that's probably the most that I've seen before. He's locked in some pretty solid profit because he took a K2 entry from London and he just held on to it until New York session. I generally don't like to trade like that, but for some people who do hold trades like that, it's very possible for you to lock in that much. So yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. If you guys don't have to trade the rest of the morning, I recommend you guys just sit out the market. But I'll be back here tomorrow morning for the last session for us to wrap up the trading week. So hopefully I come back and I make back that accidental loss from today. So have a great rest of your morning, guys, and I'll see you guys